Shalom. Okay, this is the introductory shiur to the question of saying Shehechiyanu when lighting candles on Yom Tov. Okay, so that's the question. Do we recite a Shehechiyanu when lighting candles on Yom Tov? So let's look at the Makoros. Okay, the first is from the Shulchan Aruch. It says, like when you light candles, this is talking about on Shabbat. So Yivarech, Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam asher kishalom v'tzoso v'tzivanu, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Doesn't make a difference if you're a man or a woman lighting. So it says that on Yom Tov you should also say a bracha of Lahadlik Ner Yom Tov, and clearly omitting the Shehechiyanu that is not said here. And the Mishnah Berurah points out, this is source number 2, Gam Yom Tov ve'ein tzarich levarach zman al hadlaka. Okay, so you don't have to say Shehechiyanu. Zman means Shehechiyanu. That's the reference to Bracha Shehechiyanu. You do not have to say that on the lighting of the candles. But if there is a place, he says, that does say Shehechiyanu when lighting candles, then you should not stop them. You shouldn't protest their custom. Okay, the Aruch HaShulchan says, just like on Shabbos, you're commanded to light candles. Kimochem b'Yom Tov, to pshita the Yom Tov, huzman simcha, vein simcha below or. So just like Shabbos you have to, so you have to on Yom Tov. Why? Because Yom Tov is a time of simcha, and there's no simcha without light. Therefore you have to say a berachas mitzvah on it because you're performing a mitzvah. Mordechai v'or zarua v'agos v'manios haviu zem Yerushalmi v'ani lo matzasi zev Yerushalmi. Says that they have a source. Those three Rishonim have a source from the Yerushalmi that says that you should light, but he says he hasn't seen that. It's not in our Yerushalmi, meaning they had a different text. The Nashim Shalanu b'Barachos Gam Shehechiyanu. So he says that the women of his place do make a Shehechiyanu. The Eis Hadlakas Haneros b'Yom Tov, at the time they light candles on Yom Tov, and Lumchos b'Yadam, and you should not stop them. The Pi Rov be'Erev Yom Tov Madlikos le'Eis Erev Mamish. So since, unlike Shabbos, where we start much earlier, they're lighting candles very close to Yom Tov, and that's a time where we say Shehechiyanu on Yom Tov. There are those that are doubtful about this custom. You should just leave the daughters of Israel to do what their custom is. Okay, it goes Moshe. This is where Moshe Feinstein says, "Hine pashut shlodina ein safek taha zeh meels." It's been the last hundreds of years, women have made a berachas Shehechiyanu on when they light candles on Yom Tov. It's obvious. So even though it would seem from Svara, it's best that they don't make a bracha of Shehechiyanu when they light candles, because they can just be yotzei that during that bracha of Shehechiyanu during Kiddush. So because it's better to always say Berachas Shehechiyanu on the kos. Okay, so our first question has to be, what's the machlokes about whether or not you light you say Shehechiyanu when you light candles on Yom Tov? Okay, Shehechiyanu, just to understand it a little better, is said on 3 different things. The Rambam says Brachas Acheros Dvarim Acherim Harbe She'ein Vehen Sicha V'lo Chasima Tiknu Chacham Derashem Chaladay L'Kadosh Baruch Hu. There are many brachos that are just one-liners. They don't have an opening and a closing. Are made on many different things as a way of praise and thanks to Hashem. Just like we talked about all the brachos in Shmona Esrei. Right? So when you should make a Shehechiyanu. So when you have new dishes or you have a new house, so you make a Shehechiyanu, whether or not you already have another house or you have other dishes, it doesn't make a difference. That's one time you make a Shehechiyanu, is when you buy new things. So too the Rambam says, this is source number 6, Kol mitzvah, shehi mizman lizman. If you do a mitzvah from time to time, you go in shofar or sukkah or lulav or mikra megillah. These aren't mitzvahs that we do all the time. They're just once a year, twice a year. And ner Chanukah, v'chein kol mitzvah shehi kinyan lo. You go in tzitzis, tefillah, mezuzah, makkah, or anything mitzvah that you perform that requires you to purchase something, like tzitzis or tefillah, mezuzah, or a fence. Mitzvah she'ina tadira, or a mitzvah that's not done that often, or another mitzvah that it's similar to mitzvahs that are on the calendar only once a year. You go in Milos Beno, like doing bris milah, or pidyon aben, mevarach Allah b'shas siyasa, Shehechiyanu. You make a Shehechiyanu on those mitzvahs also. V'im lo berach al sukkah v'lulav v'chayotze v'hen Shehechiyanu b'shas asiyah, mevarach Allah Shehechiyanu b'shas yotze v'chavasu v'hen. Okay, and he says, interesting enough, that sukkah you should make a sukkah, a bracha on sukkah when you build the sukkah. And he says if you don't, then you could make the bracha the first time you perform the mitzvah, which is what our custom is. All right, so this leads to two more questions. What's the nature of Shehechiyanu on a festival? And when is the ideal time to say Shehechiyanu on a festival? Okay, and then the Rambam says in source number 7, Kol Leile Yom Tov u'Beleil Yom Kippurim Omrim Shehechiyanu. Right, so also on every night of Yom Tov and every Yom Kippur, this is our sugya now, you say a Shehechiyanu. Ubishvi shel Pesach ein mevarchin Shehechiyanu. On the 7th day of Pesach, we don't make a Shehechiyanu because it's not its own regel, and as you already made the Shehechiyanu at the Seder. Ukvar berach al zman b'tfilas Pesach. You already made the Shehechiyanu on Pesach. Okay, so those are our questions. These next sources we're going to use to develop our svara. I skipped a source. Here we go. The Rambam says in source number 8, Hadlakas ner b'Shabbos Eina Rishus. Okay, lighting candles on Shabbos is not an option. If you want to light candles, you can. If you don't want, you don't have to. It's not one of these mitzvahs you don't have to run after. You do. Like washing your hands for eating. You don't have to do that if you don't want to eat. Ella chova. It's an obligation. This is an obligation. Everybody has to have, man or woman, has to have a candle lit on Shabbos. Even if you don't have anything to eat, you have to go around and collect money if you're poor, and you have to light candles on Shabbos. She said because this is part of Oneg Shabbos. Just like you make on every single bracha that's derabanan, so too this you also have to make a bracha. Okay, and the Rambam says in source number 9, the Sadar Adam Shulchan Ober Shabbos Vafa Pishin Atzarech Al Kazayis. Okay, so you set your table for Shabbos even if you only have a little bit to eat. Also on Motzi Shabbos Vafa Pishin Atzarech Al Kazayis Kedei Lechabdo B'Chnisaso V'Tziyaso, so that you are honoring Shabbos both when it comes in and when it comes out. You have to get your house ready on Friday for Kavod Shabbos via Ner Daluk, and your candle has to be lit. The Shulchan Aruch, and your table has to be set. Umata Amita Mitzvahs, and your bed has to be made. Because all of these are didim in Kavod Shabbos. The Rambam says in source number 10, Hayafan of Ner Beso B'Ner Chanukah or Ner Beso V'Kiddush Hayom. Let's say you have a choice. You can only afford either a light for your house or Ner Chanukah, or a candle for your house or Kiddush. Ner Beso called them Mishum Shalom Baisa. So the Shabbos candles are always going to take precedence because they bring Shalom Bayis. Because when there's light in the house, people tend not to trip and get angry at their spouses for leaving stuff all over the place. That's really the reason. And that's why we have Shabbos candles, and that promotes peace in the home. Okay, source number 11. Mitzvahs asim in the Torah l'kadosh es yom Shabbos b'dvarim. There's a positive command. One of 613 mitzvahs to make kiddush with words. Shnei zachar yom Shabbos l'kadsho. Kelomar zachiros chir shevcha v'kiddush. You should make a mentioning of Shabbos that is praise and kiddush. V'tzarach l'zacharia b'chnisaso v'tziyaso. And you have to make mention of it at the entrance and the exit of Shabbos. Right? V'chnisaso v'kiddush. That's we make kiddush at the entrance of Shabbos when the Shabbos starts, and v'tziyaso b'havdalah when we end with havdalah. Okay, and Gemara says so that Shehechiyanu is best said with when this is talking about Shehechiyanu and Kiddush, best said with a cup of wine. Become a companion coast. Does it really need a coast, a wine, a cup? The Gemara asks here in source number 12. Right, so it says, it says you can do it even in the marketplace. You can make kiddush. It doesn't have to be at home. Halokasha diklele kos. That's where he has a cup. Meiri says in source number 13, Amriel feel b'shuk ela shekol she'efshar b'kos Roy L'Sadroim Shahar Brachas Al Kos. As long as you can make Kiddush on a cup, that's on a kos, that's when you should. Okay, those are our sources, those are our questions, and we should have a great shiur, Be'ezus Hashem, on Sunday. Shalom.